Hello valued viewers, I hope you're all doing very well. Like I'm sure a lot of you guys, I've read several books on World War I and World War II naval actions. In a lot of those books feature hostile bomber raids attempting to essentially carpet bomb moving ships, and in every single case I've read about, the outcome for the bombers is bad. Although those bombers are above effective ship fire, it's very hard for them to get their bombs on target, especially when the ships evade, which invariably they do. In World War I, I've read about British warships in the Channel here, where Germany sends Zeppelin raids against them, drop their bombs, and every single bomb misses. Also, World War II, same bit of water, slightly more modern ships. German fixed-wing bomber raids at 20,000+ feet drop tons of bombs on the ships, and little or none of those bombs strike home. Also in the Pacific theatre, the Battle of Midway, I remember when Midway realises they're being attacked, there happens to be a B-17 bomber raid on the island. They take off, form up and launch a raid against one of the Japanese carrier groups, drop their bombs, and again little or no damage. And now we have access to sea power, we can simulate this fairly well, and I thought we would try it out. Probably keep it fairly simple, keep it in the World War II era. We have a single ship, a small bomber raid comes against us, and let's see how easy it is to evade their bombs. So, we're in the Channel here. We are going to be controlling HMS Belfast, a British town-class light cruiser. I'll put the mod link in the video description if you want to come and play with it. We've got an AWACS on our side just to allow us to see what's coming. And what's coming is, I believe, the closest we can get to a German World War II bombing raid. We're going to be using A6 intruders, flying as slow as they can at 20,000 feet, just above the effective fire of Belfast. Each will be equipped with 12 500-pound bombs, which I think will be near enough for today. They're going to fly over Belfast, drop all of their bombs, and see how much damage they do. So let's start first of all without Belfast manoeuvring. Right, in they come. Let's see if we can see... so there we are. We're pretty easy to spot. We're travelling at 2/3 speed, so probably about 20 knots or so. Waiting to be bombed. Bombs away. Right, just out of interest, I'm going to count how long it takes. So they were dropped at about 35 seconds in. I can't track the bombs visually, so we're just going to have to wait until they hit. Stand by, viewers. 30 seconds in. There is the straddle. I think 3 500-pound bombs hit us. It was pretty impressive. I mean, it was perfectly accurate. The bombers seemed to be perfectly accurate in sea power, and it took about, 45-50 seconds. Damage control. Yeah, that's a completely destroyed ship. Full hull damage, flooding damage, everything offline. Okay, let's rerun and start evading. So we've sighted the bombers, we know they're coming. The first thing I'm going to do is go up to flank speed. I'm not sure if it's going to help or not, but I'm going to try it. In my mind, it's going to turn better at flank speed. Let me know if I've got that completely wrong, viewers. I may well have. Right, waiting for bombs to drop. So we're watching them carefully through our binoculars. And bombs out and ship turn. So full port. And we sit and wait. What's going to happen, viewers? Oof. One slight concern of mine is that the salvo they do, or the ripple, or the straddle. The straddle is very long. It's going to be hard to avoid that completely. Ooh, I don't think there was any direct hits there, so it just kind of went across the bow there, and I think splash damage or hydrostatic damage must have done the damage. Damage control, I mean, much less than last time, but really I want to avoid that if possible. Out of interest, for pure science viewers, let's try turning starboard. Right, so we'll go flank again. It might not be the best thing. We'll try without flank. Wait for the bombs to drop. Bombs away, turn right, go. Come on, baby. I wonder if a ship turns better left or right. I don't see why it would. Interestingly, turns better right. It turns better right. Why the deuce is that? I was about to say propeller planes turn better right because of the, the spin of the rotor, but I don't see any reason why. Maybe it's the spin of the props, but it definitely turned better right. Well, I've just successfully evaded the bombs. I was going to flank, wasn't I? Let's try some other stuff out of interest. Right, this time I'm going to stay at, am I at standard? I'm going to stay at standard, so instead of 30 plus knots, we're going to be 19 knots. We'll turn right because we know right works. Watching binoculars carefully. Are they going to drop their bombs? They are. Junkers have dropped their bombs. Turn. Hard starboard. Or am I wrong? Is it the angle? No, it's not. I was wrong. It's not turning better right. It's the angle in relation to where the bombs are coming. Because look, the bombers are not coming 90 degrees on. They're not beam on. They're kind of 45, so they're quarter on. So that means, I think, to evade to the right, I have to turn 45 less degrees than I do to the left. That's why it was so hard left. Right. Okay, that's making sense now. Let's see what happens at standard. And there's no way... Oh, it was worse. It was worse. I was right. Flank turns better. Right, so definitely flank turns much tighter than standard, and presumably the slower you go, the less well it's going to turn. I mean, that makes sense to me, right? You're pushing more water past the rudder, past your turning surface. So, what have we learned so far? The direction that you turn matters. You need to turn to the angle where you have to turn less to beat the straddle of bombs. Also, the faster you're going, the better your ship can turn. So that's some good stuff we learned already. Let's try another idea. We've tried turning, viewers. This time let's go to full reverse thrust and let's see if we can literally stop, not before the bombs, but remember the bombs are having to add 45 seconds lead on, so if they drop now, they're actually aiming kind of for there. So as long as we can stop in 45 seconds, we're never going to reach the point where the bombs salvo, if that makes sense. So, trying to get used to naval terms like straddle. There we go. And pause, because I forgot where it is. Back full. Now, how does it work? Does it physically spin the prop the other way around? Is it a variable pitch prop? Like some aircraft, it's almost certainly going to... I don't know. What is it, viewers? Presumably it just spins the prop the other way around. Well, that was very quick. Can I even go backwards? That looks like it's definitely going to work. And remember, this is a cruiser. This is a 12,000-ton cruiser, viewers. So for a frigate or a destroyer, it's going to be much easier, much more manoeuvrable. Yeah! How about that, viewers? How about that? So I don't think I need to test a frigate or a destroyer, but I have an idea. We've now changed the light cruiser for a 60,000-ton battleship. How is this going to do? I don't see this going very well. If nothing else, for just the massive size we've got to move out of the way. Right, we're going to do it as efficiently as we can. We're going to stop it as soon as the bombs come out. And pause like a flash. The young, virile captain leaps for the wheel and turns her starboard. Starboard, all hands! I mean, that is 60,000 tons. Is it 60 or 50? I forget. One of those. It's very heavy. Right, place your bets now, viewers. I'm not too hopeful. We made it worse somehow. We made it worse. Wow. I mean, how many? 1, 2, 3, at least 4 500-pounders smashed through the armoured deck there. And secondaries going off, and yeah, it's a destroyed ship. If it doesn't sink, it's certainly out of action. Yeah, so, bigger ship, much harder. Let's try flank speed. Okay, pushing it up to 33 knots. In come the baddies, and our wonderful captain is right on the mark there as he pulls hard to the right. Go! Right, that's the best we're going to get. That's 32 knots he's at, or was it 33 knots? Hard starboard. It looks like it's turning well, doesn't it? Looks like it's going to tip over. Come on, big gal. Come on, big gal. Just a bigger turning radius. I reckon she's doing better. I reckon yes! Alright. Well, that's as big as ships get, viewers. Big as warships get, anyway. And we've just definitely smashed that. Let's try the reverse trick then and see if that works. So, I'm kind of surprised about that. Bombs out. Fast reactions. Back full. Stop, 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 stop. Come on, big gal. Oh, it's got 4 massive props. Look at that. Oh, look at that cavitation. Back, back, back. Come on, stop. It's not slowing down as fast as the cruiser. But, I mean, any slowing down will put the bombs off significantly. Hold on to your horsehairs, viewers. We got away with it. Oh. Not not as good as the light cruiser, but I mean, yeah. Oh, some magazine's gone as well, so that's going to do serious damage. I mean, it's better than 4 bombs hitting it. So that was 1 bomb hitting it rather than 4. Let's think what we've learnt, viewers. I don't think there's much point of doing frigates and destroyers, because we've seen, you know, the bigger the ship gets, the harder it is, vice versa. So we tried a light cruiser against a bombing raid of dropping, whatever it was, 50 or so, 60 bombs from 20,000 feet. They're not really going to drop any lower than that. Wow. Oh, I knew as soon as I saw the magazine had gone up. Yeah. Not much you can do about that. It just blows the ship apart. In that bombing raid, worst case scenario, the light cruiser could not beat it by turning to port because of the angle it needed to get. It could not beat it by turning... It could, sorry, beat it by turning to starboard. The faster it was going, the more chance it would of beating it because it can turn quicker. The battleship could also beat it by turning to starboard at high speed, at flank speed. I think it was a little bit closer than the light cruiser. The light cruiser at 11,000 tons could reverse course in time to stop the bombs. This could not, because either its size or it simply can't slow down as much in time. Could the bombing raid be any more effective by choosing a different radial? Well, if they came longitude like that, that would be really easy to beat, because you just need to turn off track a tiny bit, which you can do easily in 45 seconds, a minute. No problem. If it came perfectly abeam, would that make it harder? Yes, it would, wouldn't it? Let's quickly try that, viewers. If it came abeam, because we would have to do a full 90-degree angle to beat it. Right, everything I've learnt so far says I need to go fast, so flank, go. Right, this time they're coming 90 degrees. So in my logic, or what we've tested so far, logically, this is going to be the hardest one to beat. Bombs away, pause for absolute optimum efficiency. 35 knots, what a friggin' beast. And starboard, go. You almost want to stop these props here and just keep these going for absolute maximum turn, don't you? In my mind, anyway. Right, can she turn away enough? Yes, I'm almost certain this is going to be harder. That's as fast as she can go. Full turn, 18 knots. Come on, big gal. It was closer, but we definitely did it. So even a beam, which I'm pretty sure is going to be the hardest to beat, all you've got to do, flank speed, because speed is life in ships, it appears, as well as airplanes, turn as tight as you can to the best angle that suits you, the less turn you've got to do. In this case, it's either port or starboard. You beat the bombs every time, and there's not really anything a bomber can do about that. One way or another, that bomber has to drop above the AAA defences, and it's going to take nearly a minute for those bombs to drop. So at this point, I would say myth proved, viewers. As long as you do the right thing in the ship, you can beat those bombs every time. I can't think of anything else of testing. I hope you enjoyed that, and bye-bye.